Okay, so I edit with Final Cut Pro and After Effects. I use After Effects to put all my clips together and um, put the music and colorings. And then after, I'll use After Effects to put the transitions, and sometimes I'll add some effects. So I go to Final Cut Pro and I will insert audio. I usually get my audios from Instagram because I feel like that's the easiest way to get audios. And um, I get them from Instagram, and then I'll use Instagram Downloader, and I'll put them on my phone, and I'll use this website to transfer them from my phone to my computer. I feel like it's easier. You just have your phone scan the QR code on here, and it'll let you download any videos or music that you want from your phone to your computer, and it's really safe. So I've been using that for over a year, I think. Anyways, when I have my audio, I'll save it to my desktop, and then I'll drag it into Final Cut Pro like this, and I'll go and I'll detach the audio, and I'll delete the video on top, and then I'll cut the audio however I want it, like which parts I want to edit to, and after I have it in my timeline, I'll go ahead and mark it at the beats where I want the clips to change. So you can modify the color. I do it, or I change it to red if I'm gonna plot twist or something, but usually I just keep them blue, doesn't matter. And when I have my audio, I'll have my footage that I want to edit right here, and I'll put it onto my desktop, and then again, I'll just drag it in here, like to an event. And yeah, so I grab clips from here. Okay, so say if I have this clip, I will drag it into the timeline, and I'll shorten it a little bit, and then I'll crop it, and I'll go here and push slow 20 or slow 25 because I like my clips to look still, if that makes any sense. So I'll do that, and then I'll modify and render selection, and I'll go back here and go to video quality and optical flow. And optical flow just kind of smooths it out, and then I'll click the X because I don't feel like waiting for it to load. Okay, so I'll modify and render it again. And that's basically what I do for all of my clips. So I'll do that with each one, and then, yeah, and then after that I'll add colorings. So I'll do it one more time so that you can see how I do it, and after that I'll just skip forward because I don't think that me doing this 100 times is going to be interesting, and my laptop will probably overheat. So say if I have this clip, I'll drag it, and then I'll use the blade sometimes to cut clips because I think it's easier to. And then I'll crop it. And I crop it so that it doesn't have the black lines. Render selection. And I'll go back here, slow it down to 25. Sometimes I'll do 10 if the person's moving a lot, just so it stays still. And then I'll render it again. And I manually render everything because when I was having it automatically render, my computer was messing up and freezing, so I just do it myself. It doesn't really bother me. And I'll go back and optical flow. So this video quality optical flow, and sometimes it'll do this. If it doesn't load, I click the X because, of course, I don't feel like waiting. And I'll go back and render it again. Okay, so I'll be back when I have all my clips here. Alright, now that I have all my clips together, it just looks like this. And since this one looks like it's moving a lot, like the clip itself, I'm just gonna go and put it to 10, modify it, and then render it. I just pushed render all, but it's just gonna render the clip. Yeah, so now that I have all my clips together, I'm gonna put colorings. And I usually use this purple glow that I made, but sometimes I'll use the colorings that I get from YouTube. So I think I'm just gonna use this one. And then I go and edit, copy, and then backspace. And then I'll just paste the attributes onto all of them. And I will have the person who made the coloring, their link in the description if you want to see their colorings. I really like them because it keeps the clips HD and everything. Because sometimes I'll use colorings and it'll turn out grainy, and I'm not sure if that's my fault because my clips are the best quality. I'm not sure. But I'll render it again. Okay, and after all that's rendered, I'll just play it back again. And this is not optical flow. I forgot to put optical flow in it. So there is a difference. This is without. And then with. And then I'm pretty much done in Final Cut Pro. There are times when I like to put effects like this paint splatter, or I'll put the stars, but just because I'm just trying to show you how I edit, I'm not going to do that. And after I'm done, I go here and I save it as a master file, and then I'll just name it. So I'll just name it Tony, whatever. Yeah, okay. So I'll save it like that, and then I save it as the highest resolution, and you can change that over here. And then I push next, and then it'll save onto my desktop. And I will be back when it's done loading. I'm going to take it into After Effects. I'm just going to open the app or program, and it'll look like this. And I'll press New Project, and I'll click out of the render queue. And this is a program that scares a lot of people, but it's really not it's really not hard. It's kind of tricky getting the hang of it, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. But anyways, when I first start editing in here, it'll look like this, and then I'll drag it down, and I'll get my clip, and I'll just drag it right here, and it'll import the video. And I'll click this again, and I'll drag it into this box. And after that, I will go to scale, and I'll push 101 because there's these little black lines. If you use After Effects ever, you'll know, but this will just help it to look smoother when you have the mirrored edges, which I'll show you in a second. I'm sorry if this sounds super confusing, but I'll put pre-compose, I'll push move all attributes or whatever, this one, and okay, and I'll just pre-compose it. So next I go to effects and presets, and I'll add a motion tile, and I'll drag it onto the clip, and I'll type in the output width and output height, both 300. And if you need to raise it a little bit, if you're having a bigger transition, you can always do that. And I'll push mirrored edges, and I'll press these little circles, which is motion blur, so when the transitions are going, it looks smoother. And I have my resolution as when I'm viewing it as a quarter because it loads faster. There's really no point in having it full. I mean, if you want to do it, you can, but I think it's slower when it's... and now that it's all green, that means it's rendered. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the clips now. And I like to use the preview just to get a more exact of where I'm going to cut the clips. You want to cut them as soon as it goes to the next clip, so it will... Edit split layer. Oops. Edit split layer. You can do a keyboard thing, but I forgot which one it is. Okay, and then edit split layer, and I do that for all the clips. Now that I have all of my clips split, this is where I start doing my transitions. And if I'm gonna do scale and rotation and position. First, I'll do scale and I'll click a keyframe. So this is just clicking a keyframe. And then I'll go to the middle, keyframe, and then I'll go zoom in. And one keyframe in from the end, I will click another keyframe and I'll put it at 200. So this is going to be a zoom. And you're going to go to the next clip, scale. I just push S on my keyboard and I will click another keyframe towards the end. I like my keyframes to overlap so that the edit is more smooth. Right here, it just kind of, it doesn't matter to me because it's the start of the edit. And I'll put this at 60. And then this one will stay at 100. And after I'll double click on the keyboard or like put both fingers on the keyboard. And then I'll go to keyframe assistant and easy ease. And it will just help it look more smooth. And right here I'll put 150 so that it doesn't just stand still in the beginning. And I'll go to here, which is the graph editor. And this does look confusing, but I promise it's not as bad as it seems. For the zooming in, I would say you need to put this bar down and then just make it kind of like a little arching slide. You're going to go here and then you're just going to take the keyframe down so that it makes an awkward U shape. And then I'll load it. And if you want to see more in depth of how to do this, I would say just put in scale in and out on After Effects and just type that into YouTube, and a lot of tutorials will come up, and there's some easy ones. I'll link some in the description because those are the ones that help me the most, and I feel like they're easier to follow. So yeah, it'll just look like this. Next, I'm going to do a rotation, so I'll push R on my keyboard, and then I'll put a keyframe right here, and then a keyframe from the end. I'll do another rotation keyframe, and I'll go into this area right here, and I'll push 90, and I'll go to the next clip, push R on my keyboard, keyframe at the beginning, and then towards the end. And I'll put -90 on the second clip, -90. And I'll go highlight those keyframes, easy ease, and I'll highlight the first two. And this is where, on rotations and positions, I use the speed graph. So you just get these and you pull them over. Pull to the left, and it'll help look smoother. This so far. Position, say if I'm moving it to the side, I'll push P on my keyboard, keyframe towards the beginning, but not exactly in the beginning. And then one keyframe from the end, I'll press position again, and I'll just drag this to the right, and I'll go to the next clip, press P, position, keyframe, end of the clip, another keyframe, and I'll go to the beginning and pull this to the right. And I'll highlight those and easy ease them. I easy ease all my keyframes so that they're smooth, and I go here to the speed graph and I pull the lines to the right and then I'll pull the lines over here to the left to make them smooth. You can add an adjustment layer, which is going here, new, adjustment layer, and then edit, split layer. And you just have it, the adjustment layer above the position. And you can go to effects and presets and go to directional blur. This just makes it look a little bit more smooth. And I'll go up here, push 90 in the direction, and then I'll keyframe blur length, press U so that you can actually see the keyframe. and I'll just do this. You put this one at 0, and then the middle one goes, I put 100, you can put as much as you want, and then this is 0, so just where you want the keyframe to mainly be, and then start and end. I also use those, but I don't do the graph editor because I don't think I need it. And yeah, that's what I do. So I'll come back when I'm done. So I'm done with the transitions, and this is what it looks like. That's what I have. And this is literally just zooms and rotations and positions. And now I'm just gonna go to add to render queue, and then I push lossless format options, and I go down to H264, okay, and then its render settings are best settings, so it's gonna render in the highest quality, and I just click render. So now that it's done, I'll click this, and I'll open Final Cut Pro again, because I want to save it as an MP4, and I don't think you can save videos as an MP4 in After Effects. I could be wrong, I just don't know how to do it. But I also need to add a watermark, and I like to have the audio that's in here because it kind of gets messed up in After Effects, since I never separate the audio. And I'll drag it from my desktop just straight onto here. And I will line it up, take the audio off the video, and then just have the audio that I had in Final Cut Pro. And to add my watermark, it's really simple. I click text, I go to custom, and I'll drag it on top of my clip and put it at the beginning, and then I'll make the text length longer, and I will go into text, and I'll put my Instagram name, and I'll put it down to 25. I've realized that you can't really see it when it's 20, so I'll put it 25, bold, oblique, in Helvetica, and I'll go to video, normal, overlay, so that you can still kind of see it, but it's not so apparent and out there, and I'll put it in the corner. Sometimes if I can't see because the clip's too dark, I'll go here and I'll just put it in the corner. And I push done, and that's my watermark. And since that's done, that's basically it. So this is the final product. I will save it as a master file, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. Okay, now that it's done, this is what it looks like. And that's pretty much it. That's how I edit. I hope this was helpful and you could take something away from it. But yeah, so that's all. Okay, bye guys. Or everyone. Bye everyone, so that's more friendly to everyone. Peace.